So Henrik and Christian, welcome, and Henrik, please take the word.
Thank you very much, and it's a pleasure for us to present Gubra today. I'm Henrik Blå, I'm the CEO, and I have Christian, our CFO, with me today. So first of all, very briefly, what is Gubra all about? We are experts in preclinical scientific research within metabolic diseases. So really, we have built a very strong core research engine where we can conduct various types of studies, laboratory analysis, and this core research engine we can use to deliver services to external clients. That's one part of the business. And we can use it to advance our own internal pipeline programs. That is the other part of the business. So this hybrid business model works very nicely for us. Today we are approximately 235. We've grown since this slide was made. Employees, and they are all located here in Hørsholm, north of Copenhagen. We'll also have a site in Boston, a small sales office. We're building that up to approximately a handful of sales reps for the services we are conducting. And that makes a lot of sense because more than half of our revenue in the service business we get from US clients. And we have a very strong brand, strong reputation within this niche that we are operating in. A specialty CRO, contract research organization. We either are or have serviced 15 out of top 20 pharma companies in the world. And we came out of Q1 this year with some very nice numbers. We grew the service business more than 50% compared to Q1 last year. In the pipeline arm of the business, we have the most advanced of the programs that are not yet partnered, our amylin program. It's in phase 1 testing, and that is progressing according to plan. We've also recently revealed the identity of another obesity program in our pipeline, UCN2. It's in the category we call healthy weight loss, and it has some very interesting properties, and I'll talk a little more into that today. We've also made some changes to executive management, and that makes a lot of sense. We are developing the management at a high pace, just as the company is evolving at a high pace. So, Christian, please take us through some of the financial numbers from Q1.
Yes, Q1 has been really, really great. And as Henrik said, we grew the service business by 50%. And this is, on the back of a quite good year in 2023. So we are extremely pleased with the strong start to the year. And, I think everyone talks about obesity, and that's a really stronghold in Gubra's business. And Gubra has, worked within obesity since the company was formed in 2008. So we can really, benefit from this momentum and drive that is within the obesity industry. So it's great to see that, in our numbers also. So up around 50% in revenue, and the earnings, also followed. And so we doubled the EBIT. And we also had a very, sound EBIT margin of 39%. So all in all, I don't think we could wish for a better start to the year. And I will come back to the guidance at the end, which we also increased in connection with the first quarter results. And that's a guidance for the full year of 2024.
Thank you very much, Christian. And really, the service business is, as you can see here, generating a lot of cash for Gubra. And we use that to invest in our own internal pipeline, our own internal programs. Our strategy is that we mature them to the right level, and then we aim for partnerships. What you see here is Gubra's pipeline, the top 4 up here, the blue ones, all obesity programs partnered with the big German pharma company, Boehringer Ingelheim. We have a 5th partnership that is with a biotech company called Hemab, that's within bleeding disorders. And then we have all the green pipeline programs here, which are not yet partnered. And as mentioned initially, we have selected to take the amylin program, that's an obesity program, somewhat further in-house than what we historically have done. So we are now in clinical phase 1 testing with that program. UCN2 being the next one, also obesity, a couple of other obesity programs. And then we have 2 non-obesity programs in the pipeline, narcolepsy program based on the orexin peptide. So a very interesting rare disorder or disease where we see some interesting results with this early program. And also we have a program in PTH. And really zooming in on the amylin program, because that gets quite a bit of attention these days. That's an obesity program. The data I'm showing here is from obese rats. And really these data, what they're showing is that it's well known if you give an obese rat a GLP-1 compound like semaglutide or a combination compound like tirzepatide or survodutide, then you see a weight loss. So that is not surprising. Also, if we give our amylin compound to these obese rats, also it induces a weight loss. If you combine our amylin with one of these weight loss agents already on the market or in development, we see an additive weight loss. And that means that you can really put the 2 weight loss on top of each other and reach a quite significant weight loss. This has been demonstrated by other companies as well, and it's quite well established that amylin seems to be a very promising weight loss agent, either as a monotherapy or in combination with other weight loss agents. So the UCN2 program, that's with a more novel mechanism. And really, when you are on the more classical weight loss programs, weight loss agents, when you use them, the weight loss you obtain is a combination of a loss of fat, which is what you desire, but also at the same time, you're losing lean body mass, that is muscle, bones, etc. And really, 20 to 40% of your weight loss is lean mass weight loss, which is not desirable generally. So what you would want to do was to have a weight loss agent where you're losing fat mass and you're not losing lean mass. And what we see now, I have some data here with our UCN2 analog. It's really, if you use that analog, the UCN2 alone, it's not inducing a weight loss on its own in this animal model here. That is also obese rats. However, what we see, if you are looking to the middle graph or the graph to the right, is that so you're not losing weight, but you're losing fat mass and you're gaining lean mass. So it's really changing the composition of the body away from fat and towards lean body mass. If you combine UCN2 with one of the more known weight loss agents, such as a GLP-1, semaglutide, or an amylin agent like cagrilintide, you see that you actually maintain the weight loss that these other weight loss agents give you as a monotherapy. So it's not putting weight loss on top of that. But the loss of lean mass that these weight agents induce, we can prevent. We can not only prevent it, we can ensure that you have an increased fat mass loss and you actually gain lean mass. So in our hands, we think these are really interesting data pointing towards a new way forward within weight loss management. And these data, it's early days, it's preclinical data, but we have selected a clinical candidate in this program, and we are now progressing this into toxicology studies. So, Christian, please take us through the outlook, the guidance for the midterm here and for this year.
Yes, sure. So as I mentioned in the beginning, we had a great start to the year, growing by 51% in the service business, as you can see in the middle column here. And that's, sparked us to change or raise the financial guidance to 15 to 20% for the full year on the back of a record year in 23. So I think that is also important to bear in mind that 23 was also really strong. And the main driver has been obesity in the first quarter, but we also see good progress across other disease areas. It is just if you want to point out a specific category, then it is the obesity. As I also mentioned, where Gubra is, has a really strong name, and we see customers, turning to Gubra to place studies. So we guide for an organic revenue growth of 15 to 20% and an EBIT margin for the full year of 28 to 31%. That's the service business. In the discovery and partnership business, that's where we develop our own compounds and partner them out. And we have an ambition and target to do 1 to 2 new partnerships per year. Last year we did 2, and we expect to conclude 1 to 2 new partnerships this year, and also in a longer midterm perspective. We increased our expectations for cost slightly by, let's say, around 10% compared to our expectations previously. And that is, as Henrik talked about, that we're moving some of especially the obesity compounds forward, and in particular the healthy weight loss called UCN2, which we think is a really, really exciting component in potential new types of obesity treatments. I think I stopped there on a very strong note, and as I said, a great start to the year for Gubra, and we're happy to take any questions.
Thanks a lot, Henrik, and thanks a lot, Christian. And there's of course questions coming in here. So just briefly on your Gubami trial, I think you mentioned it, Henrik, but you started enroll the first patient December last year. And you expect a full enrollment, is it mid this year or in Q2? And when will you receive, or when will we as investors receive the results? Could you comment a little on that, Henrik?
Yes, definitely. So the first patient was dosed on November 30. And the design of the study is that we have planned for 4 to 6 cohorts. So this single ascending dose means that you are increasing the dose from each cohort to the next until you start seeing side effects so severe, so you're not continuing to the next cohorts. And really the first 4 cohorts are the key cohorts. And by that, I mean that these data we need to apply for the next clinical study, the multiple ascending dose study, the MAD study. So the key cohorts, we expect that we have completed enrollment mid this year, and we expect to have the data from this entire trial in the second half of this year, so H2 this year. Again, we run this SAD trial in order to enable the next trial, the MAD trial, and we can pull out some of the data as we go along and include that in the application for the next trial. So really a number of interesting news are coming up, and we expect the full readout in the second half of the year from the ongoing trial.
What data will excite you the most, Henrik? If you can elaborate a little on that, because that will bring me to the next question, and that's of course the partnering that you will look into.
Yeah. So a single ascending dose trial, the primary goal is to check for safety and tolerability. So that is the main goal, to find out if there are side effects and at what dosages you start seeing these side effects. So of course we hope to have a nice and somewhat clean profile. It's expected to have some kind of side effects, and that you increase the dose again to find side effects. But really that's one very important parameter. Another important parameter is to see how high can we actually go. It's of course nice if we can dose at a certain level, because that will increase the chances of a significant weight loss when used as a monotherapy. So I think we can learn a number of things from a trial like this, mostly centered around safety and tolerability, but also there are included some aspects pointing towards pharmacodynamic effects, such as meal tests and so on. So we will definitely learn a number of things from the ongoing trial.
Interesting, Henrik. And you know, things are going really fast in obesity, and you are one of the players to look into for sure. We recently saw a major deal made by AstraZeneca, and that's fair to say it addresses the same generation as UCN2. Could you, and of course I refer to the 6 Peaks Bio, just so we're on the same side of the boat. How do you see, is it fair of me to call it the 3rd generation? We started with the single obesity, then we have the combination, and now we're talking about body fat, you know, and next generation, I will call it 3rd generation. How do you see the competitive landscape, and how does your pipeline differ from what you see in the market?
Yeah, so I think the nomenclature here is up for grabs. There's sort of no established nomenclature if what is a 1st or 2nd or 3rd wave here, but definitely, in our opinion, what we will see is that now it's the 1st generation of weight loss agents that are on the market. There's been a lot of focus for some years on obtaining the highest potential weight loss. So really it's been about, can you get to 21% or 18% or 16%, and that has been the focus. And I think the thinking has advanced now. So really it's also looking into, apart from the weight loss, do we see improved parameters on the liver or on the kidney or on the heart, and also a healthy weight loss. A weight loss is not just a weight loss. There are various ways to lose weight, and really what is the most healthy weight loss? A lot of attention is going towards that. So in our opinion, we will see a market where obesity is not just obesity. There'll be various segments of patients, some that are elderly and obese, some that has diabetes and are obese, and so on. There'll be various populations. They may need different types of treatment. It could also be that they need one type of treatment for losing weight, another type of treatment for staying on that new weight, and so on. So what we also see is that there are a lot of players who'd like to move in and have a piece of the cake, and each of them trying to carve out a patient population where their product can cater in a way which is slightly better than the competitors. So we see our role as really, we're not planning on taking any products on the market ourselves. Our role is to fill the pipelines of the industry, to do partnerships. We have 8 obesity programs in total. 4 are partnered with Boehringer Ingelheim. The 4 other ones, we're continuously looking for partners, and they may end up, in other companies' obesity pipelines. And thereby we're having a kind of a portfolio approach. So we don't want to become too dependent on single assets. Rather, we'd like to have a portfolio approach where we team up with various players and address perhaps various pools of obese patients.
Thanks a lot, Henrik. So we could imagine, this is of course pure speculation, that with the USCN, you could actually make it a combo with your Gubra instead of looking for a partner. Is that true?
It's definitely a possibility. As we saw today, when we combine an amylin, it's not our own, but an amylin with our UCN2, we definitely see this change in body composition at the same time as a weight loss. So that's a possibility. Again, I think it's we have an opportunistic approach to doing partnerships. So it to some extent it depends on in what way a potential partner would want to develop these assets. So we put the UCN2 program in our public pipeline, you may call it, even at this rather early stage, because we see, a good interest in obesity assets these days, and we wanted to have, the possibility to discuss this asset even at this early stage with potential partners. Could also be as a package where a partner wanted to partner on both the amylin and the UCN2, so that we do it to keep our ways open to have again an opportunistic approach.
Thanks, Henrik. And just to stay on the pipeline, and especially you're partnering with BI. So could you describe, or is it possible to describe the difference in the different obesity projects? Are you targeting different types of patients between the different projects, or can you elaborate a little on that?
So I can only say so much because it's partnered and they are in the hands of our partner. But the most advanced, the one on the top here with Boehringer Ingelheim, it's an NPY2R agonist. So it's another mechanism. You have the GLP-1s, you have the amylins, you have and so on, GIP, glucagon, and this is targeting NPY2R. Boehringer showed phase 1 data last year. Very pleased with these, and also they you can see on clinicaltrials.gov that they're currently running a clinical trial with this agent, and in that trial they have combination arms. One combination arm with survodutide, their GLP-1 glucagon agent, another combination arm with semaglutide. So really, I think it's pointing towards a potential future as a combination agent in their hands with that one. The next one is the second most progressed. When we entered the partnership, it was publicly announced that here we are working with a polyagonist, and that means that you have several activities built into the same molecule. Just as you know from tirzepatide, for example, where you have the GLP-1 and the GIP combined into one molecule, in a polyagonist you have two or more mechanisms built into the same molecule. So that is what this program is all about. And then we have some other ones, a more early stage at drug discovery stage, and again, fair to assume that various mechanisms are being explored in these programs, but I can't go into any details there.
Thanks a lot, Henrik. And well, just before the time runs out, I have a question I've been waiting to ask you because I know it's on your agenda. The theme for our seminar today is AI. And that's also a question to your CRO, service business. We've been focused on so much on obesity. How does AI work in your everyday, and how do you think it's going to influence the business in the future? If you can do it short, Henrik or Christian.
I'll try to be very short here. We've actually worked for a number of years using AI in various of our key processes and products. So, for example, we have a peptide platform called Streamline, and really there we are using AI to design the peptides. We actually do the peptides in the wet lab and we produce wet lab data, but then we use AI again to keep track of these data, and these are amazingly big data sets where you have AI to sort of see where these clouds of data are moving. It's a completely new way of, or other way of doing peptide development, and really AI plays a key role there. Another example is in the service business where we have these liver studies in MASH, where we have to assess the disease state of a lot of livers within a very short time. And there we have used machine learning and AI to really be able to assess these biopsies very rapidly 5 years ago, we had, I don't know, 8 pathologists, I think, who were working day in, day out, looking at these liver slides, scoring the disease state. Today, we have 1 pathologist training the algorithms, and really the algorithms are doing the scoring and at a much more consistent quality from time to time. So we are using it. We've used it for years, and we are definitely going to use AI in many more aspects of our company going forward.
Thanks a lot, Henrik. Thanks a lot. And thanks a lot to you, Christian, as well. I hope you will have a really nice day. And thanks to the audience for all the good questions. So by that, we will have a short break before the next company present.